Chief Meteorologist Tom Coombs here. I want to recap the heavy rain and flooding that happened in Bridgman, Michigan in the early morning hours just after midnight of August the 10th. Extreme rainfall that led to a lot of flooding in a very localized area. This is video from Bridgman. The streets of Bridgman flooded after 4 to 7 inches of rain fell over about 3 hours. That is an extreme amount of rainfall, the worst flooding they have ever seen, and this sounds somewhat like a broken record because we're saying this over and over and over again. In fact, we already had a single-day 4-inch rainfall in this area going back to the end of June, and here we are in August seeing it again. Here's the setup. We had storms that were nearly stalled coming off of Lake Michigan. That's a flooding problem because slow-moving storms drop more rain as they move slowly over that area. You'll see how things kind of played out, and it's really midnight, 1 a.m. There's just a stream right into Bridgman, and it just didn't stop until after 2 o'clock in the morning. The worst was probably about 1 a.m., and you can kind of see that flood warning triangle and polygon where that's where the flooding happened. That was the worst rainfall area. In fact, radar estimates estimate 4 to almost 7 inches of rainfall, and some of the gauges people actually measuring did see 4 to 7 inches of rainfall, and that is an extreme amount of rain. Let's talk about the probability of this. It's pretty low. 4-inch rainfall over 3 hours is a 0.1% probability. That is less likely to happen than you dying in a car accident at some point over 50 years. A 7-inch rainfall is almost off the probability charts, a 0.01% probability, which is just insane. It's the probability that you will have to go to the emergency room if you cut your hand on a glass bottle. It's a low probability to happen in a single year, yet it's happening. And we've had similar events happen already this year. Yeah, you may say we need to just update the probability charts. That might be one thing. But if you look through the lens of history, these things were supposed to be extremely rare, and they are not rare. And that brings us to climate change, which, yes, still sounds like a broken record. But things that were once rare or thought to be extremely low probability are happening more and more. This rainfall is not a coincidence. What is a coincidence is that extreme rainfall happened less than a day after the IPCC released a climate change report saying that events like this in our area, the local impact, are more likely to happen. That is a coincidence. But the fact that we continue to say these events are more likely to happen and they continue to happen, that's fact. That is strong scientific evidence that really attributes the impacts of climate change that we continue to see. And the alarm from this report to policymakers is you have to take action, not just to mitigate climate change, but mitigate those impacts. To be prepared that events like this are more likely to happen, and we're more likely to see extreme rainfall, and it could be even worse, that will lead to more flooding, which impacts infrastructure. Other areas, it could be drought, hurricanes, even some forms of severe weather, but everything we have to be more prepared for. And that's what this report is about. Being prepared, because the evidence, as we continue to show you, is there.